Okay, I haven't been on in a few days, so I thought I'd come on and do a video. What else are we going to talk about? Let's talk about some George Pickens. That's the number one topic on television nowadays, so let's keep it going, shall we? Remember, if you come into my videos, please hit that like button, hit that share button, subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's YouTube at Biscuit, Bizcutt. And with that being said, just welcome to an episode of Getting Busy, and let's get busy. Well, so the rookies all reported to their little rookie mini camp, and we've gotten 6 of the 7 signed. The one that hasn't is Malachi Lawrence, and they expect that to happen anytime. So, Caleb Downs, he got a pretty good rookie contract, $28.7 million in fully guaranteed money. I expect him to be special. I really, really do. The other night when he was drafted, I was just absolutely ecstatic. I was online with my buddy Brandon, and he he was kind of tore up because he's a big Cowboy hater, man. So, but when the Cowboys moved up, he knew it as well as I did that it was going to be Caleb Downs. So, yeah, and now that I just think he's going to be a superstar. I really, really, really do. The last time the Cowboys had a number one, a first round draft pick, it's a safety. That was a Roy Williams, and he was awesome. Like I said, the best 2 safeties that's come from the Cowboys that I've enjoyed has been, obviously Darren Woodson, who should be in the Hall of Fame any given time. This getting bullshit that he's had to wait this long. I think he's like the last player of the '90s, all 90s team to not be in the Hall of Fame. So it's getting to be ridiculous, man. A couple years ago, he was in the last cut, and he was voted out for Devin fucking Hester, man. I mean, how the hell can how the hell does that happen? Devin Hester, the dude was a punt returner. Give me a break, man. I'm not saying he wasn't good. I'm just saying, give me a damn break, man. I'll let Della tell you about that one. Jesus Christ. Anyway, but I expect him to go into the Hall of Fame at any given time. I think we all do. Roy Williams, obviously him and Jerry had a falling out. Jerry has said a few times that he's going to put Roy Williams into the Ring of Honor at AT&T Stadium, but he still hasn't done it. They had a falling out. You know, if you get on Jerry's bad side, I don't give a damn who you are. You're gonna have to go through his bullshit. So just ask Jimmy Johnson. I mean, Jimmy Johnson wins 2 Super Bowls for him and he get fired. I mean, what the hell? And then took him 30-some years to put him in the Ring of Honor, man. Give me a fucking break.
Kiss my
Let Della explain that one.
ass.
But that's how it works. And I hope that they iron it out, because I'd really like to see. I think Roy Williams deserves to be in the Ring of Honor, and hopefully that'll happen someday. Obviously, there's a few others that I'd like to see in the Ring of Honor. Obviously, Tony Romo, Danny White, I think all deserve to be in the Ring of Honor. But we'll just have to wait. Time will tell. Definitely Tony Romo, because he owned all Cowboys quarterbacks records for so long until Dak just broke them. And, actually Dak tied them all. Well, no, he actually broke them. I mean, when it comes to all-time scoring and yardage and everything, you got to count Dak at his running and his throwing. And Romo was just in throwing. But anyway, that's either here nor there. They both, Romo deserves to be in the Ring of Honor. He will be in the Ring of Honor, and I hope that Roy Williams will be there with him one day. Anyway, but I'm ready to put Caleb Downs in that category of a Roy Williams. Not quite to Darren Woodson yet, because Darren Woodson won 3 Super Bowls and was the Cowboys' all-time leading tackler. So No, I just I ain't ready to put him quite there yet, but far as talent-wise, the sky's the limit for him, man. All you got to do is just go pop in a tape. I don't give a damn who they're playing of Ohio State versus anybody, and you're going to see Caleb Downs just all over the field. He was a remarkable player, and he plays that hybrid position very, very well. He's fast enough. He can play corner. He can shut you down. He's a fundamentally tackler to play safety. I just think we're going to see a lot of good things from Caleb Downs. So let's just get ready. But he signed a $27 million contract, fully guaranteed money over the next 4 years. So, that's the one thing that we've got to worry about. We got 2 first-round draft picks. In about 4 or 5 years from now, they're going to be up for a big money contract. And Cowboys will probably have to make a decision of who is performing the best at that time, who's going to get the big money, who's not. One of them will not, and I don't know. Right now, my money's on Caleb Downs. I just, he went into this draft as possibly the second or third best player in the country, and the Cowboys ended up with him at pick 11, man. So I was really high on that. But getting back to what the growing topic is, and that's George Pickens signing the franchise tag. It's great right now to me that the Cowboys have all their team intact. And this doesn't happen very often. Somebody's always holding out. Somebody's always unhappy, and we're the talk of the media. Last year was Micah Parsons. Year before that it was CeeDee Lamb. Year before that it was Zach Martin. I mean, the list just goes on and on about who's holding out, who's up for a contract, who's not getting one, who's going to be traded. It's just one thing after another that the Cowboys go through year after year, and it always starts about around this time. And now here we are coming up on the OTAs. They're on their way. And we have a whole team that's completely signed. And nobody knows how to handle this, myself included. I'm like, what is going on? Why did Pickens sign that damn contract, sign that tag so soon? Normally they wait till the last minute, okay? Because it's a non-exclusive tag, which means so many teams could come along and, hey, we're going to give him $40 million. Cowboys, you either match it, or we're going to give you compensation. I think it's like Mike Fisher said it was 2 first-round draft picks. That's a lot of compensation, for somebody to take on. So it just probably wasn't never going to happen. But and when everybody keeps mentioning that $40 million price, man, I think that's very expensive for one. And the evidence is out there. George Pickens is not what you call a number 2 receiver. He's not. He is absolutely not. He is a wide receiver 1. He should get wide receiver 1 money, which he's tagged at wide receiver 2 though, and that's where the problem lies. If he was a wide receiver 1, he'd probably be receiving around $30 million right now, but he's not. He's tagged as a top wide receiver 2, and that's why he's getting 27. And but everybody's saying that because JSN got that big $40 million contract. He's got next 4 years, $160 million with $70 million guaranteed. And Puka Nakua's up next. And he's probably going to get more because that's just the way this collective bargaining bullshit works. It's who's up next. And you've got to meet a certain criterias. And does George Pickens meet that criteria? You bet your ass he does. He was our wide receiver number 2 last year, who was 4th in the league in yardage and touchdowns. Now, I know we can all say because CeeDee Lamb got hurt, and that's what happened. What did happen if CeeDee Lamb didn't get hurt? What would have happened if we'd have had two receivers in the top 5? I got to get some gunfire on that because that's a possibility. We have a quarterback that throws 4,000 yards year in, year out, and 30 touchdowns year in, year out. And we have a dynamic receiver in CeeDee Lamb who just set the Cowboys' single-season record just 2 years ago. So it's a possibility. We could be looking at two receivers that would have probably got around, I don't know, between 12 and 1,400 yards each. That's a fact. But it was Pickens who did it. CeeDee Lamb got hurt, but we still ended up with two receivers with 2,000-yard receivers, even though CeeDee Lamb missed 4 games. So if that doesn't tell you how solid our quarterback is, I have no idea what to say on that. Because our tight end room is not performing like it should. You got 4 tight ends that accumulated like 825 yards last year. And to put it into perspective, just a couple years ago, Dalton Schultz, tight end for the Cowboys, got more than that by himself. So, Ferguson, up your game, buddy. You just got a big contract. Up your game, man. So, this shit of going 5 yards out, catching the ball, falling down has got to stop. We want yards after the catch. We want some effort out there. Or go 7 yards out and catch the goddamn ball and fall or something. Jesus Christ. But I like Ferguson. I just think that the Cowboys paid him way too much, way too early. I think they should at least gave him, last year and this year, kind of pushing out maybe one or 2 year deals with him, man. Because I don't think he was ever better than Dalton Schultz. Everybody said he was going to be the next coming of Travis Kelce. Okay, he does show some parts of that, but there's times Ferguson can make a big play. I'm not saying he don't. I'm just saying step up your game, buddy. Step up your game, because you got a young rookie coming up, Trick, and he's going to turn some heads. He's going to get some attention because this kid can play. This kid can play. I'm going to generate a highlight reel of him here next day or so, and I'm going to put it on my videos so to get an idea of how good this kid is. So get ready. I think we just boosted the tight end room up a little bit with drafting him, and it brings you back to Schoonamaker. What the hell are we going to do with him? The only thing keeping Schoonamaker on this team to me is that he was a second-round pick a couple years ago in one of the worst drafts in Cowboys history. That's the only damn thing I can think is keeping him on this team, because this dude, he does not impress nobody. I mean, against the Miami game, we lose the goddamn game because he catches the ball at the fucking goal line and could not even turn to the right. He turned to the fucking left, and the Cowboys didn't score the touchdown. I have not forgotten that, and I'm guaranteeing you what, Cowboys Nation hasn't either. So, and then Spanford. I really like Spanford. I do. I think he should get more plays. But they use him in so many blocking schemes. I mean, when Spanford's in the game, nobody's going to go out and cover him because they know he's staying back to block. He's protecting Dak, or he's going to run block, and he's going to be a lead blocker or something like that. But he did catch a touchdown last year, and it was wide open. He was wide open. But I like him. I really want to see this kid Trip play. That's why I'm looking forward to the preseason, because unlike a lot of people, I like watching the preseason because I want to see these young guys step up and see if they have a potential of being on this team, or can we rely on them if some of our guys go down, if they're going to be on the practice squad, if we can bring them up in certain situations. So that's why I'm really looking forward to preseason. And I even watch tape on OTAs. OTAs will be coming up here in a couple weeks. I'm going to be watching tapes on OTAs, believe that shit. But, that goes back to Pickens. Everybody's saying, is he really going to show up? Well, he's signed. Okay, Pickens is a Cowboy. He's on the contract. If it's mandatory, he has to be there. If it's not mandatory, he don't have to be there. Now, everybody's making a big, I've seen Cowboy Nation, all these damn groups making it a big deal. Now, I get it. Last year, Parsons didn't show up for that. And we were making a big deal because, we were counting on Micah Parsons to be our leader on defense. Our leader left, and that was DeMarcus Lawrence. He left. So we were looking at Micah Parsons. And as great as Micah Parsons was, I don't think he was a great leader. I don't think he's the guy that can get in other players' asses and say, hey, you got to be here, you got to be there, we got to do this, we got to do that. And to me, he wasn't that guy. He was the guy that you had to rely on to make a big play in certain situations. And Parsons did do that. So, but far as being a true leader, no, we lost that when we lost to Marcus Lawrence, and I thought that was going to come back and bite us, and it sure did, man. So, if the story of us having that such bad defense last year, there was a combination that we lost. Obviously, Micah Parsons was the big one, but losing to Marcus Lawrence, man, he was a true leader, and all you got to do is go watch Seattle last year. They won the Super Bowl. Who was the leader on that fucking defense? It was DeMarcus Lawrence. So that was a huge letdown. I wish we'd have kept him. I think we could have kept him, and still pushed forward. Had a better defense. Obviously, him and Micah Parsons wasn't getting along, and that's why he wanted out. And now we know why. It is what it is, and we have to deal with that. So, congratulations to DeMarcus Lawrence. He was definitely one of my favorite Cowboys of this era, and he got him a Super Bowl. But he had to leave Dallas to get it, man, and that makes me sick. That really made me sick. But it is what it is. There's also another one we lost last year that I've mentioned. That was Jordan Lewis. Those three guys year before last were really solid. That they could play. Okay, Jordan Lewis had the best year of his career just 2 years ago, coming back from injury. Well, Lewis. The problem with him is he was hurt for 2 straight years at Dallas, and then he come back and he was absolutely 100%. Far back, damn, internet was absolutely had me lagging so bad. I'm trying to figure it out why it keeps doing that. I have very, very high speed internet, and it should not be doing that. So, but I am using Wi-Fi, and I think the Wi-Fi is getting me. But I will be hardwiring this damn thing and put a stop to that shit. So, anyway, what I was getting back to is that Jordan Lewis had a really, really good season. He had the best season of his career, and then it just Cowboys let him go, and he went free agent and ended up in Carolina. So, but it was the combination of the three that really hurt, and that's just a fact. I mean, losing Micah, losing DeMarcus Lawrence, we lost our leader, and we lost and as Jerry has said so many times, losing that nickel was a problem. It was. Now we've got the guy to replace it, and we've got somebody that's probably going to do a better job. I mean, Downs will probably play that nickel, and among other things, he's a hybrid. He's, I mean, like I said, you just pop up if you don't know who he is and have not done no research on him, just go look at it. Just pop open a game of Ohio State. I don't give a damn who they're playing, and you'll see him. Yeah, you'll hear a lot of Arvil Reese. You'll hear a lot of Caleb Downs, and you'll also hear a lot of Sonny Styles. But Caleb Downs is somebody you're going to hear a lot of because he's that dude. And of course he reported to rookie camp this week wearing number 18. Okay, in Cowboy Nation, oh man, that's not his number. His number should be number 2. Chances are he will have that number 2. It just right now, no numbers has been issued out to officially. Obviously, the veterans all got their numbers, and they're going to keep their numbers unless they want to change. They get first dibs anyway, and then the rookies come in second. So, but chances are he will probably be wearing number 2. So we'll just have to wait and see. Because as far as I know, nobody on the Cowboys right now is wearing number 2. So, but he did wear number 18, which was, I mean, like I said, you just pop open a game of Ohio State. I don't give a damn who they're playing. And you'll see him. Yeah, you'll hear a lot of Arvil Reese. You'll hear a lot of Sonny Styles. But Caleb Downs is somebody you're going to hear a lot of because he's right now, no one knows who he is. I think the number at Tolbert were a couple years ago, and then of course when Randall Cobb was here, he wore that number. But as you see, I wear number 19. I'm sporting my man Flournoy. So even though this is actually a Amari Cooper jersey, so Flournoy wears number 19, and he is an upcoming wide receiver. So I'm really happy for it. I'm really happy to wear this number still. So I mean, I loved it when Amari was on the team, man. I mean, he was one of my favorite players. I mean, he was awesome, and you can't deny that. I wish to God he wouldn't never got traded for a bag of chips and a candy bar, but that's what happened, man. Anyway, so that's where our defense, one of the biggest problems we had was losing those three guys together. Obviously, the biggest prize was Parsons. But to me, I think the biggest loss is probably DeMarcus Lawrence, because he was such a leader, man. He was a natural born leader. There's so many videos, when Parsons was, a rookie, when he was making his statement, it was DeMarcus that was on the sideline in his shit. Hey, dude, because I think there was one game he dropped an interception, and DeMarcus went right up to him, got right on him, and said, man, you worried about all these damn sacks and you can't catch a ball? I mean, that's a leader. Always trying to bring the best out in you. Obviously when Parsons was a rookie, LVE was still here, and he took Parsons under his wing and helped him become a better pro. Parsons really took 3 games before we drafted him to be a linebacker, and D-Law goes down in game 3. I think it was against, if I remember right, it was against the Chargers. At the time, I think they was the San Diego Chargers, but Dallas went to, it may have been LA yet. They may have been the LA Chargers, but to me, they'll always be the San Diego Chargers. That's what I grew up to. So anyway, they were playing the Chargers, and Lawrence goes down. The Chargers were the upcoming AFC team. They were supposed to walk the dog all over Dallas, and Parsons stepped up in that game and just wreaked havoc. Just fucked that game up for Herbert and his boys. Herbert couldn't breathe without Parsons all over him that day. So that's when Parsons became a bona fide superstar, and he never looked back. He never looked back after that till now. And he's with the Green Bay Packers, and he's still a bona fide superstar. So it's going to take, what I'm saying is that these rookies it's going to take a few, look for the offense to really have to carry the load still for the first few games of the season before our defense starts looking it's going to look quite a bit better, because you can't go backwards after that fiasco last year. You just can't. It was the worst defense in Cowboys history, and that's going back to 1960, and that's just ridiculous. So, and Pickens being on the team if we trade him, I'll be sick. I will be sick, and a lot of people thinking that could happen because quite frankly, $40 million is a lot of fucking money. It really is. That's $13 million more on the year than what he's making now. So, and there's a lot of reasons to be upset about that, because Stephen Jones going public 2 days before the draft, and absolutely just saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. That's the way I feel about it, man. So he just said the wrong thing at the wrong time. I mean, the best bet, I think, was to say nothing. Just say nothing. And, that would have been the best. That would have been the best bet, I believe. Just say nothing. We're not going to talk about that at this time. But not to flat out say, "Oh, we're not going to negotiate no long-term deal with George Pickens. He will play on the franchise tag this year." That's enough to piss anybody off. So, but to me, I think Pickens is being a real good pro. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being a fan guy. I don't know. But to me, the fact that he said, okay, the night of the draft, I am going to sign that damn tag. I'm going to stay here. I want to be here. I'm going to show the world that I want to be here. But here we are, myself included. We got this is just too neat right now. Okay, this is just too neat. It's not cowboy way. It's not the cowboy way. We're just too damn neat. And so myself, I like neat. I wish everything would be neat, but we got 30 years of it not being neat. So, and so you got to keep your ears glued. You got to keep your eyes open. What could go bad? What could go good? Hopefully everything goes good. That's what we want. We want good. We want a fucking Super Bowl, man. We want to get to the playoffs. We want to win the division. We want to get to the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate goal. I'm getting old waiting on this, okay? I grew up as a kid watching my Cowboys kick everybody's ass in the 70s, in the 80s, and the 90s. Then we get to the 2000s, and things went sideways. And I'm not saying we haven't had some great teams, because we have. The team that I always reflect back to is that 2007 team. I mean, that team was incredible. It was the first Cowboy team first NFL team to ever put 13 Pro Bowl players on one squad making the Pro Bowl. That was 2007. 7 people made All-Pro that year. How that team didn't win it, I'll never know. It had everything. It had a top 15 defense and a top 10 offense. It was the highest scoring team in the league, and Tony Romo was playing football out of his mind. Terrell Owens was our number one wide receiver. We had 3 solid ass running backs led by Marion Barber and Julius Jones, and not to mention Felix Jones too was on that squad. And then we had Jason Witten, who was in his prime at tight end. We had a pretty solid offensive line. On defense, we had a defensive line that consisted of DeMarcus Ware, Jason Ratliff, Greg Ellis, and Marcellus Wiley. How the hell did we not fucking win with that? Our linebackers was Brady James. Our strong safety was Roy Williams, and we had Michael Jenkins and Terrence Newman at corners, man. That team was loaded. Every one of the guys I just sit here and name, other than I didn't name Davis and I'm trying to think I think it was Andre Garrard, who also was on that team and all went to the Pro Bowl that year, man. Every one of those guys. And also Flozell Adams. So we had a solid offensive line, a solid defensive secondary, a solid defensive line, hellacious playmakers, and that team got put out in the fucking playoffs. I'll never understand that one. I've been racking my ass for the last 19 years figuring out how the hell that team not win at all. And I know we all give Tony Romo hell. That was the year he was dating Jessica Simpson, and he didn't prepare he took off and went to Cabo with her. They had that famous picture, her being half naked on the beach and him right there all over her and shit. And, they were the it couple. They were Taylor Swift and Mark and Travis Kelce are today, only it didn't work out. And, they went off that way. They went off together, and it set a bad example. And it can't really blame that on why that team didn't make it, but it didn't look good. It didn't look good at all. And but you got to understand, Tony Romo at the time, man, that dude was from the country of Wisconsin. I mean, he's out in the country. He never, like he said, he was a dork, man. He didn't go to a major college. He wasn't a high draft pick. He was an undrafted free agent that made it big. He got lucky. And when that happened, he became the Romo-mania happened. I mean, he's dating these celebrities. I think the first one was Carrie Underwood, and then it was Jessica Simpson. So he was really relishing in his fame at the time. and young guy just got big money. These things can happen. Temptation is a motherfucker. So anyway, when we think back to these last 30 years, that is a team that will always stand out to me because I thought that team had it all. Obviously, we've had some other good teams, 2009, 2014, 2016, all fantastic teams. Also, obviously, that 2023 team, I don't know what the hell happened there neither. But I can't say that 2023 team was ever better than that 2017 team. I can't. Even though the 2023 team was very solid. But when I think about the teams that should have got it, that's the one. That's the one. I mean, you had Hall of Famers on that fucking team, man. There's just no way that team should have got put out in the fucking divisional round. There's just no way. By a team that they not only beat twice that year, but demolished twice that year. And that was the Giants. And the Giants went on to win the Super Bowl that year. And, that famous stupid-ass catch against the Patriots where Tyree caught the fucking ball on his head and on a fourth down play and made Eli Manning look like the greatest fucking thing since sliced bread that year. And fact of the matter is, he was never, ever in Tony Romo's league when it comes to being quarterback, and that's just a fact. I don't give a damn if his name was Manning. He was not Tony Romo. So, it's not like we have not had some good teams. Obviously, 2014, the famous Dez caught it, and they ruled it. He didn't catch it, and cost the Cowboys a chance to go to the NFC Championship. So, yeah. 2016, we were trying to get back to what we was in 2014. Romo goes down. Two rookies step up to be the talk of the NFL. That was Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel was drafted to be Romo's right-hand man, and Romo got hurt, and that was made 2 seasons in a row that he went down. Obviously, 2015, he goes down, and the Cowboys was just a sinking ship without him because they had no backup. And then when Dak come along in 2016, I remember watching him in preseason, man, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this kid can play. And ended up being, this kid can play. So he took Romo's job, basically. Romo was, 36 years old. Dak was 22. So the young guy took over, and now we've got Dak at 33 and still trying to get back to where we was at in 1996. So we ain't really done much better without Romo. And we're back about the same. So I don't know if Dak's going to have any Hall of Famers that he's played with going to. It could be CeeDee Lamb. I don't know. It could be Amari Cooper. I don't know. These are, obviously Jason Witten will be in the Hall of Fame, but you can't really put Jason Witten up there with Dak Prescott because Dak got him when he was, coming into the end of his career. He was old. He was dilapidated. Just not what Jason Witten was in 2007. Okay, so that's between 2007 and 2016 he was still playing some decent football. He just wasn't that Jason Witten. So anyway, of course we all know Terrell Owens is in the Hall of Fame. DeMarcus Ware is in the Hall of Fame. I strongly believe that Roy Williams should go. I don't know about Greg Ellis. I don't think he'll ever make it, but neither was Jason Hatcher. But they were a solid group. They got after the quarterback, and they somewhat stopped the run. So yeah, the Cowboys had a problem with that run game, stopping that run game for a long time. But it just tells you how far it goes back. But that team was solid. But going into this season and this offseason and having the whole team intact, I'm really, really excited. I hope it pans out and it doesn't get all this drama. Coach Shoddy has shot it down. We're together. We're going. The Cowboys have talked so highly of this George Pickens situation. But, like what's really skeptical is that the Cowboys, have talked about it. I haven't heard from really George Pickens or Dave Mulligata, other than Pickens signed the deal, and If that's the way you handle all the bullshit in the media, then that's the way you do it. That he's kept quiet. He has not, as far as I know, have not made a statement. I have, I've checked. I'm on DallasCowboys.com every day, and I have not seen a statement being made. I'm on Twitter almost every day, so I have not seen anything come out with Pickens or his agent. Just the Cowboys. They're the ones speaking, and I guess they got a right to speak now because they hold all the cards. He signed the contract. He signed it early. He said, "I want to be a Cowboys," then he proved it. So time will only tell here in these next few months what that means, because I really truly believe this will be the last year. If Pickens stays, if they don't trade him, he will not be a Cowboy next year. Especially if he has a breakout season again like he did last year, they're just not going to be able to afford it. Had to be able to afford to have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens on the starting lineup at the same time. It just can't. I just don't see it happen. But then again, we got to look at all the dead money that's going to be hopefully over with this year. Osa Digazua, he's still on the books, getting paid $16 million from the Cowboys this year. You got Zach Martin still on the books, getting paid from the Dallas Cowboys this year. Shit like, of course, Trayvon Diggs, but I think Trayvon Diggs will be done after this. And it's probably be done with Osa Digazua because they traded him to San Fran. San Fran's going to have to take over that damn contract. Eventually, the time frame didn't work out this year because he was on the Cowboys payroll at a certain time, so the Cowboys got paid. That's just how that collective bargaining works. So anyway, that's a lot of dead money that we have to pay out. What I just sit there and mentioned was probably around $40 million right there in dead cap money. I mean, $16 million to Osa Digazua, $15 million to Zach Martin, another $7.8 million to Trayvon Diggs. That's a season what it's going to cost to keep George Pickens. So that could play in effect to if they don't have that on their cap as dead money against their cap next year. So we'll have to wait and see how that works too. So there's could be reasons behind this, but I haven't really sit down and look at and trying to fucking figure out those numbers. It's too damn hard. So I'll just leave the experts to do that shit. I just know that this could be, to me, I just think this probably may be the last year we have Pickens on our team. And with that being said, we got to fucking go for it right now. Right now. But so let's get all the drama out of everybody's system. Let's get our team into these organized workouts. Let's get our OTAs going. Let's get the training camp. Let's try to not have any big injuries to stay healthy, and let's go for it, man. I mean, this team, when you look at it, looks pretty goddamn dope right now, and that's a fact. All they have, just when you look at the defense last year, giving up 31 points a game, and the Cowboys averaging 30. Every damn game was a barn burner. They were fun to watch, if nothing else, man. They were fun to watch, if nothing else. But, man, every fucking team that played against them, Jesus Christ, they look like a Hall of Fame quarterback in a fucking nonstop offense, an unstoppable offense. I mean, you're going to expect that from teams like the Chiefs, possibly the Eagles. But Carolina, no. And I don't know what it is with the Cowboys and the Cardinals. I have not figured that out in 15 years of how that fucking team comes to Dallas and wins and can't beat anybody else, but they will come in and kick the living shit out of the Cowboys. I mean, they will. I don't understand it. They're sorry. But they have some reason to have the Cowboys number. Denver, another team. The Cowboys have not beat that team since the fucking 90s. Why is this possible? Denver's a good football team now, but there's a lot of years they was not a good football team, and they still beat the Cowboys. I don't get it. I know they don't play each other all that often, but still, they play each other, what, every 4 years on an average? And they won all them damn games, so fuck that shit, man. No, it should not be happening. They should not be giving up. And Green Bay's offense, I mean, on paper may look good, but against anybody else, they didn't look good. But against the Cowboys, they looked awesome. The Giants, with Russell Wilson at quarterback. Russell's on his last few years, man. He's a backup now. He's not even a dominant starter no more. And he looked like 25-year-old Russell Wilson last year, man. Throwing up them moon balls, throwing for 450 yards against the Cowboys. This shit should not be happening. But anyway, what I'm getting at, if we can just get a defense that only gave up maybe 22 points a game, man, we'd win that division so goddamn quick. We would, because that offense is going to score. We have an elite offensive line. We have an elite quarterback. We have the best wide receiver duo in the entire league. Not to mention, we probably got the best wide receiver core in general because of Flournoy coming up. The way we use Turpin. Hell, we ain't even got a chance to use Jonathan Wingo yet, man. So when Mingo steps up and tries to be worth what they paid for him, they gave a 4th-round pick for him 2 years ago, and some bitch ain't done shit, man. So give me a break. We still got a wide receiver that's on a practice squad we drafted last year, Trey Holding. That kid can play. So, as an entire room, wide receivers, we look good, and we got the quarterback that can get him the football, and we've got a damn good running back in Javonte Williams. We got a real good. So our offense is there. It probably will be the number 1 offense in the league again this year. I truly believe that if everybody stays healthy. Now, of course, we have to deal with injuries where we won't be, but. You know, we dealt with injuries last year, and we were still the number 1 offense in the league all the way up to the last game, man. So, all year long, Dak Prescott led the league in yards all year long. For the first time in his career, of course, the last game they set him out in the second half because it just was no sense to keep playing him because the season was over, and then Stafford stepped up and he became the top passer of the year. That he gets. I don't know if it was. Did he get the MVP? I think Stafford got the MVP. I'm not real sure. Anyway, he was definitely MVP category. But what I'm saying is if the Cowboys would have had a winning record last year, Dak Prescott would have been the MVP hands down. He was the only quarterback in the league that was in top 5 in all categories: touchdowns, completions, completion percentage, yards, QBR. He was just there. He was just that dude last year. And because they sucked so bad and finished below 500, he didn't even get nominated. He got like, I don't know, 5th, maybe 7th, but he would have been first. He would have been the league MVP last year. I truly believe that. If they would have got to the playoffs. I mean, he was just it was a solid year from Dak Prescott, man. That was a hell of a year. And we wasted it because we traded Michael Parsons away and let DeMarcus Lawrence go and let Jordan Lewis go. That's why. I truly believe we kept those 3 players on that defense last year. It would have been better, and the Cowboys probably would have won about 10, 11 games. I truly believe that. Because some of those games that we lost and the game that we tied, those were fucking winning teams. Those winning games, man. Obviously we beat the Giants. We should have never tied the damn Green Bay Packers, and we damn sure should have never lost to Carolina. And some of the play calling that we had to make because our defense was so bad, which cost us points and turnover on downs. The Cowboys were the least punting team in the league last year. and the highest scoring team in the league last year. So, yeah, they got something to build with. But it's been fun to see no drama other than the media because nobody's holding out. Pickens said he was going to sign the tag. He signed it. He's a Cowboy. He's on contract. And now, as content creators and in the media and several other groups and stuff that they just see it as being too neat, and I kind of laugh at that because honestly, it really is. But I'm going to leave it off at that. I like neat. I really like neat, man. I want neat to stay. I love neat. Let's stay neat. Let's keep it together, man, because it could be a really fun year to watch. We could really be look and say, hey, we have an excellent football team, and we just could keep it neat. And getting Pickens signed to a long-term deal would be really, really, really neat. But I know it does say it's not going to happen at least this year. And when you look at the dead cap money that the Cowboys have to pay, that's one reason why I'd say. But I still say if they signed him, that cap wouldn't be shit because they can put most of his money into a damn signing bonus and it wouldn't go that hard against the cap. It'd be a hell of a lot cheaper than what they're paying now on that cap. I know that, man. So I mean, the dude could walk away with like $40 million this year, man, and only hit the Cowboys for like a $17 million on the cap hit because they can put it in a signing bonus. And obviously you're going to pay for that, a couple years down the line, but we only have a couple years right now with the quarterback that we have. Until somebody steps up who's better, then I'm all for it, okay? Nobody has stepped up to be better than Dak right now. Nobody. As bad as some of you Cowboy haters out there, you Dak haters out there, just want to replace him with Charlie Brown or something, man. Eat a dick, dude. I mean, that's our quarterback. And I don't know what else he has to do besides win a Super Bowl. That's a big one. How many quarterbacks a day doesn't have a Super Bowl that's playing? There's only a couple right now that have a Super Bowl ring. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is one. Aaron Rodgers is another. Russell Wilson is another. And Jalen Hurts. That's 4 fucking quarterbacks in the whole damn NFL. And one of them don't even start no more. They ain't like they're a dime a dozen, man. I mean, I get 10 years. He should at least, we should have been at an NFC championship. I get that, and I truly believe we should have. There's a few years we should have. 2016, 2 rookies led the Cowboys. What would have happened if we would have turned the reins back over to Romo that year? I have a buddy who truly believes that Cowboys would have won it all if we'd have done that. It'd been a real dick move if we did that, because Dak was the first damn rookie quarterback in the history of the Cowboys organization to ever win Rookie of the Year. That'd have been a real dick move to say, hey, okay, you've done all this all season long. Now we're going to pull you out and we're going to put Romo in. Now, we can all say it would have been probably a perfect scenario and a perfect send-off for Tony Romo because he was healthy at the end of that season. They brought him in at the last game to play against the Philadelphia Eagles. And, oh, man, he looked fucking fantastic, dude. He did. He looked fantastic. But Dak and Zeke had ran the whole team that year and worked their ass off. That team was 13-3, led by 2 rookies. We thought we was getting ready to see a rookie win the Super Bowl, man. And they got put out by Aaron Rodgers, who took off. Green Bay was just absolutely destroying the Cowboys in the first half of that game, and then all of a sudden, Cowboys, Dak and Zeke came alive, came all the way back and tied it. And I knew when we got down to that on that goal line that we shouldn't be settling for no damn field goal to go for to tie the game up and give Rodgers the ball with a minute left. I thought that was a bad idea. I probably would have been hurt if we wouldn't have tried to at least tie it up, but I was saying go for it. Go for the goddamn victory, because at the time, Aaron Rodgers was in his prime, and that was 10 years ago. Rodgers was in his prime, and he burned our ass. 3rd and 20. How the fuck did he make that play? I'll never know. 3rd and 20, and he got the first down, and then that dude he burned Byron Jones and caught that sideline catch that put their field goal kicker within somewhat of his range, and then he kicked his longest field goal of the year. And that's how the Cowboys got put out in 2016, and that was the rookie year. But some would say that I would know that I don't see, because at that year, if everybody remembers, that the Green Bay literally had to go and bring secondary players off the fucking street because they had guys that was on first, second, third string that was completely hurt that year, and their defense was just terrible. And we didn't exploit that. We stuck to our game plan. But if we would have had Romo in the game, Romo would have slanged that ball all over the fucking field. I have no doubt about that. After what just happened 2 years prior, and he got robbed, we got robbed with the Dez didn't catch it bullshit, and he would have attacked that secondary. Dez Bryant probably would have had one of his best games ever if Romo would have been in that game. And I'm not going to deny that couldn't have happened, because it could have. But like I said, it would have been a dick move on Dak, because Dak had done some absolute amazing work that year. But last year was one of the best years I've seen Dak. Last year he showed he was the old man on the block, and he just picked defenses apart. He tore them up. Of course, he had 2 dynamic receivers to do it with too, but he picked them apart, man. It was great. But if it wasn't, I still believe if it wasn't for that fucking defense and the fact that they went 7-8-1, or I'm sorry, 7-9-1, Dak would have been the MVP. I truly believe that. Anyway, so let's all go for a no drama OTA. Let's keep our fingers crossed, okay? There'll be no holdout. There'll be no drama. Because if you hold out now, you're gonna get fined. And I know Micah was under contract last year when he held out. Then he decided to hold in and act like an idiot. But that was business. And that's where the football part and the business part makes it not so fun. I love football. I hate the business part of it. I really do. It is what it is, because when I was a little kid, when the business case stepped in, and it really wasn't bad business, it was when Roger Staubach retired and the circumstances he retired under. He would have played 1 or 2 more years if Tom Landry would let him call the plays. But Tom Landry said, no, we have a system here in Dallas, and that's the way we would do it. And so Staubach, he had suffered some concussions, and as a little kid, I didn't understand that. I just knew I was losing my childhood hero, and I didn't like it. Okay, so that's when the business part hit me in the face. I'm a little kid. Coach, let him call his damn plays. So it just didn't work out that way. That was where the business. That's when the business in the football first hit me when I was a kid. So later on, it hit me hard when I was in my mid-20s, when after winning 2 Super Bowls, Jerry Jones fires Jimmy Johnson, man. What? Who does that? But that's the business. And then when you learn why he did it, it's still made it suck, man. I ain't gonna lie. It still made it suck. But he was, Jimmy's from Florida. He coached Miami Hurricanes to 2 national championships before he became Cowboys' coach. His heart's in Florida. He lives in Florida. He fishes in Florida. His life is in Florida. So when they added an expansion team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then they wanted to ask Jimmy Johnson to coach them, I get why fucking Jerry was pissed. I understand. And I understand why Jimmy Johnson was intrigued. They were willing to give him the moon to be their coach. They'd probably let him be coach, general manager, and everything else. He wasn't going to get that at Dallas. He knew it. So the business part and the football part has really gotten on my nerves for a lot of years. And especially with the salary cap actually the salary cap, the Cowboys are one of the reasons why these teams all started going to the salary cap. If they wanted a player, they go get them. If the 49ers wanted a player, they go get them. And teams like the Cleveland Browns, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they couldn't get these top players because there was no salary cap. If the teams had money, they go get them. If they had the money, you buy them. It's that simple. Okay, then they said, okay, they go, they brought out this collective bargaining bullshit and go to the union and all these lockouts and all that shit happened during that time. And then they come up with the salary cap. Every team has so much money every team has the same amount of money to build a roster with. And then somewhere, somebody decided that the quarterback needs to get like 1/3 of that or something, man. I have no idea where these crazy contracts came from these quarterbacks get. I get quarterback is the hardest position to play in sports. But it really hurts teams when you get like $300 million to build a team and then you want to give $60 million to your quarterback. I get it. It's rough. Then you got $240 million to fucking put together for 52 more guys. And some of those guys are going to be your top players, like a CeeDee Lamb, who gets $34 million. A Tyler Smith, who gets, somewhere around $22 million. This is every year. Then you have to look at your tight ends. You start looking at your defensive players. All these guys have to get paid, and some of these guys are good, and they're going to get paid what their value is and what the going rate is. But somewhere somebody decided that the quarterback has to be paid first, and he has to be paid the most. It is what it is. That's the world we live in. So that's where the business and the football part becomes so annoying. And because I really love the Dallas Cowboys. I've been a fan for 50 plus years. To me, there's just no other sports franchise that can come close. I love basketball. I watch a little bit of baseball. I'm not a big fan. But there's just nothing comes close to me than the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, they're it for me. And being a fan and having to deal with the business absolutely sucks, man. It sucks. It really does. So let's keep our fingers crossed that these workouts and these OTAs and these mini camps and these and also training camp go smooth, and we have this great offense put together this year, and we have this young, energetic defense. That spells a good football team to me. So, with that being said, I'm going to be signing off, and let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm totally in that we do not trade Pickens, that we keep him. I'd like to see him get a long-term deal. I really don't see it happening, or else it should have already happened, because the longer you wait, the more money you're going to pay, and then it's, other players are going to step up and break the fucking bank. Obviously Puka Nacua is about to. JSN just did, so and the money just goes up. Everybody's giving us shit that, Dak got that big contract, and what can you say? He got his contract. Get over it. It's not, but that's where the business and the football comes into just mixes up and it sucks. And it makes fans just feel uncomfortable and uneasy, and it just generates a lot of drama. But, Cowboys are known for that. Anyway, until next time, you know what it is. We still them boys. Have a good one. Keep it together. Let's do this.